Welcome back everyone, it's Eric from Rare Candy, and here today we are back on PTCGO, today taking a look at a different way to play Zacian V.
Nah, man, I'm cool.
A lot of people are sick of Zacian, but don't back out of the video just yet. This is not ADP or Luke Metal. We are switching up and playing kind of a unique take on Zacian here. This list was actually kind of inspired by a deck idea that fellow PokeTuber, the Slowpokewell, posted. I think it was probably like a month ago, maybe a little over a month ago, and I thought it was kind of a unique idea using the Banette here. So I wanted to take this idea, iterate on it a little bit of my own, and see what I could come up with. But before we get too deep in this deck profile, if you guys can, just remember to smack that like button. It genuinely really does help get this video out to more people on YouTube. And if you guys need any cards to complete this deck or any others, you guys can check out our friends over at PTCGOstore.com and use that coupon code RARECANDY at checkout. And our patrons at patreon.com/rarecandytcg actually have their own exclusive code of their own to get an even bigger discount. So if you guys are in the market for some PTCGO codes, check out our friends at PTCGOstore.com. But getting back into the actual deck, by and large, guys, this is just a kind of a normal Zacian V deck, but we are maxing this guy out at 4 copies just because, unlike something like ADP, we really don't have any real backup attackers to fall back on. So just going to max this guy out, increases our odds of finding it when we need it as well. But Zacian V, you guys are probably plenty familiar with this card by now. Just such a good card, 230 for 3. And of course, we have Metal Saucers, Turbo Patches in this list as well to help power it up. And Intrepid Sword, always just a great early game attack, or ability, I should say. But the thing that makes this deck a little bit more unique is the fact that we are playing a 2/2 Banette line in this deck as well. And it has this Curse of Devolution ability. Whenever you evolve into it, you get to de-evolve one of your opponent's bench Pokemon by putting the highest stage back into their hand. So the whole idea with this is that we can smack VMAXs for 230. And then next turn, we can send them to the bench via boss's orders, or if they retreat, or even with Fion here, and then play Banette, de-evolve them, getting a knockout. So we are only going to get 2 prizes, not 3, since we're de-evolving them. But, you know, against something like Sentis Scorch, that can just kind of blow over your deck if it goes in check. Banette now gives Zacian a decent way at dealing with these heavy-hitting VMAXs like Sentis Scorch or Eternatus as an example. So yeah, this is kind of the unique factor of this deck. Since we are playing Scoop Up Net to reuse Banette, we are also playing a Jirachi engine. I think Jirachi has kind of been a Pokemon that's fallen off a little bit. But again, since we're playing Scoop Up Nets and Switches already, it just kind of naturally fits in here. So Stellar Wish, of course, just good at finding those trainer cards whenever we need them. Like I mentioned, we do have a copy of Fion. This is a very important card because Banette can only de-evolve bench Pokemon, which is really honestly kind of annoying, but Fion's a searchable way at getting them onto the bench, which is really nice if we don't have a boss's orders for turn, so we can quick ball for this guy whenever we might need it. We also have a copy of Hoopa. That's, I think, the only other Pokemon really of note here, and that's because we are playing it for the Evil Admonition attack. It does 10+20 for each of your opponent's Pokemon in play that has an ability. So the reason I'm playing this is, unlike a variant like ADP, which can, you know, sometimes scale up to hit tag teams for one-shots, we don't really have that option in this deck. So think of something like Pikachu. We're going to have to 2-shot that, which is a bit of a bummer. So now Hoopa can come in with Evil Admonition, just kind of poke, soften them up a little bit. This kind of functions similarly to the Duskmane Necrozma promo that I believe rotated this past year. This fills that same sort of role. I just sort of poking some of those tag teams, softening them up for our Zacians to come in and clean up a knockout on them. So looking ahead to our trainer cards, one thing I do like about this, we have found space for 3 copies of Turbo Patch. So this can actually help power up our Zacians even quicker. Metal Saucer is a given, but Turbo Patch, even though it's a coin flip, does sort of speed up our deck a little bit as well. Since we are playing Banette, we have a couple copies of Communication that we kind of have to run to be able to search these out whenever we might need them. We got our Tool Scrapper as well. This can be good for opposing Zacian decks if they're playing something like Big Charm or Metal Goggles. That way we can ensure that we can take one-shots on them. Speaking of which, we have 2 copies of Cape of Toughness. This is to increase the tankability of our Zacians a little bit. So it's going to buff us up to 270 HP, meaning that even against ADP, they would need something like Tool Scrapper, or they would need like a Leon or a Galarian Zigzagoon to be able to one-shot us if we have this on our Zacian. So it's just going to make them a little bit sturdier. There's a couple decks out there as well. This does put us narrowly out of one-shot range of. So Cape of Toughness, definitely been a card I've been liking a lot in here. Speaking of preserving our Zacians, we also have 2 copies of Coding Metal Energy. So of course this is going to eliminate our weakness, make sure things like Centiskorch and Blacephalon can't quite as easily one-shot us. But we don't want to play too many of these because that does start to dig into our Metal Energy consistency, which we are playing 9 of in this deck. But by and large, that's going to be the list. Everything else is pretty straightforward, I have to say. But let's hop into some games and see if Banette is going to be a worthwhile way of playing Zacian here. Alrighty, so it looks like we might be playing against Eternatus right out of the gate here. So we do go first, or we win the flip, so we do want to go first here, especially if this is Eternatus. So this will be a matchup we should be able to find out pretty quickly if the Banette is going to be sort of a worthwhile endeavor for our Zacian deck. But let's see. Okay, so this is a perfectly acceptable opening turn going first. Unfortunately, we do have a good bit of Metal Energy in hand, meaning we might not be able to hit any off Intrepid Sword, but that's going to be fine. Oh, but we see a Coco, so not Eternatus. They faked this out here, so more likely Pikarom, which seems like actually a matchup that's not like the best for us, but... So I think we're just going to do this and Intrepid Sword to end our turn. As expected, we didn't hit any Metal Energy. Kind of wish we would find a Quick Ball, just because I really don't want to research a Turbo Patch and a Metal Saucer. Okay, so we're going to see Voltorbs, Pikachus, and Coco. So this does appear to be some sort of Pikachu VMAX deck. Okay, this is definitely another deck that we could show off Banette with. There's going to be a Quick Ball from our opponent as well. Going for a Dead change. So we do have this Hoopa. Hoopa might potentially be of use here in this matchup. Okay, just going to go for the Electrify. So we might be able to get a knockout on Bolton this turn. If we get top deck Quick Ball, that would be perfect. That's like, I think, our ideal top deck here. Oh no, we don't want to discard this hand. Yikes, that's really bad. This is a really bad hand to get rid of. Is there a world where we just chill for a turn? Right now with Bolton, they're hitting 30, 60, 90, 120 for 130 after they attach for turn. You know what? I kind of want to just chill with this hand. I really don't want to get rid of 2 or 3 energy accelerating cards here. We're going to go with sure. We're just going to go for the Intrepid Sword to end our turn. And we do get a Banette, which is something we don't want to research away either. So hopefully we get Marnie, to be honest, guys, or Communication, Quick Ball. We'll see what's going to happen. I don't know if we played it a little too conservatively here by not getting rid of our hand, but just felt really bad getting rid of 3 energy accelerating cards. So hopefully we can just avoid getting knocked out for a turn. So there's going to be the Bolt Storm for not enough. I'm okay with that. So let's see. We can just Marnie. I feel pretty content if that's what we have to do. So sure, I guess we'll just attach preemptively here. Oh, but they did not play a supporter. Maybe they're just kind of waiting for us to take a knockout or something. We're just going to go for the Marnie, though. Again, we really don't want to get rid of all these cards that we have here. Okay, so we do get Shuppet. That's also good for us. Now, we do need to keep digging, though, because we don't yet have a switch. So I think there's a world where I think we're actually going to communicate the Shuppet back in deck, maybe? I guess we'll just do... Sure, let's just get that down. And from there, we're going to quick ball, we'll get rid of the coating metal energy, I think here. Oh, I was wondering if we had Crobat. That's why I was kind of hesitant about what we did here. Because I was thinking about, there is a world where we use Crobat to refill our hand and save one of our search cards to grab the Dene if we still whip what we need. So we're just going to do this. Go for the Dene change. We need to hit switch. Okay, we do. So that's definitely good for us. We'll get down our little homie Jirachi over here as well after our Zacian. More than likely is going to go down this turn. So we'll just go for the Brave Blade. That's cool. We're going to take the first KO here. And since we do, I think we're going to be in a good spot to win this one, because they're probably going to trade KOs with us pretty easily. So both good prizes to get here. So we have Switch, we got Metal Saucer, all sorts of good stuff. So there's going to be the Pikachu VMAX getting the Speed Lightning attached. And there's going to be more. Oh, that's such a bummer. Our hand was stacked for the next turn. So of course, Pikachu VMAX, they can cap out at 270. They will have to discard all of their energy, which is kind of the good part about this. There's the G-Max Tackle. All right, so we can still work with this hand for the moment. We do want to find a way to cobble together an attack, though. Okay, so that's actually pretty good. Before we do anything else, we could just immediately go for Crobat, which I don't hate, but at the same time, I kind of want another Zacian on the bench. Yeah, let's just go for the communication. We're going to put Fion back for the moment. So we're going to Crobat, Metal Saucer. We're going to save our hand for the moment because we still haven't Stellar Wished. We'll let Stellar Wish after we draw some cards. Okay, that's actually pretty workable as well. So we'll just go for Turbo Patch over here. That is a bit of a bummer, but we do have a Stellar Wish at our disposal. Hey, we get Metal Saucer, that's good as well. Do we want to get rid of all these switching cards? I think we're kind of okay too. I think we'll pick up the Hoopa, actually. I don't think we're going to need that anymore. So. Yeah, I'm just very hesitant to get rid of all of these, but I think we're going to. I really want to get some more energy on this Zacian that we have here. So with that, we're just going to research. Feels bad getting rid of that other switch, but it is what it is. Okay, so that's awesome. We get down an attachment for turn. We got ourselves a Turbo Patch. We get heads here. That feels really good. Okay, awesome. So we're kind of threatening the KO on this Dedenne over here. So we're just going to go for the Brave Blade. If we do get knocked out, it's okay, because if we can find our Banette and... yeah, we have Banette and Boss, so we're in a good spot to still maybe get a KO on this guy and win next turn, hopefully too. Yeah, so we have plenty of researches yet left. We have a communication and 2 Banettes, so I think there's a decent shot we can find what we need. There's going to be a Pikachu. So we've only used 1 scoop up net as well, so more than likely after this guy goes down, we will have a way to move this Jirachi. So there's going to be a research from our opponent. Chaotic Swell, I'm cool with that. Now, there is a world too where if we even just get Metal Energy as our top deck, I kind of don't mind just bossing something else, knocking that out. Well, no, we actually kind of need... oh, just going to go for the Pokeball. So our opponent whiffed what they needed here. That's pretty huge. But the issue that we have now is that we actually don't have a way to get another attack. So we have to just go for the retreat. So we're going to quick ball some cards away. We're going to get rid of the Jirachi. We'll just grab another Jirachi. So if we can... I don't want to toss Fion, but we might end up having to. If we hit a communication, that would be good. Yeah, let's just toss this Jirachi. We want to thin as much as possible at this point. Unfortunately, we do not get what we need here. I think we're just going to have to... Yeah, this was definitely kind of a whiff for us. I guess maybe just go for the scoop up net. That's fine for the moment. Then from there, we're just going to Intrepid Sword, I suppose. Okay, so we have Banette in hand as well. So, yeah, so we're actually in a good spot. We have game in hand, actually, because we can scoop this guy up if it doesn't get knocked out, gust up the Dene, or, I mean, even just knock out Pika, that's fine too, but we can go Banette, knockout, and that should be game. There's the research. So we have to avoid a reset stamp. If they're playing Electrode, I'm assuming they're playing 1 to 2 copies of Stamp in here as well. Okay, there's Electrode. There's the VMAX. Again, question is, do they have Stamp? Because we have game right now. We don't want to lose this hand. Good news is they can't knock out a Zacian. We're forcing them into a 7-prize game no matter what. So even if we do get Stamped, that's like the one thing we do have going our way here. Let's get a prize. Hey, that's a good prize to get. Even if we do get our hand reset, that's at least one more out to a Banette here. There's going to be a Coco. And there's the Stamp. So at least we did get a good prize here. Okay. So even though we don't have boss, there's still a world where we do win. Actually, if we hit Banette and Fion, that would also win us the game here. Because if we go Banette, devolve that, get prizes, and then force them to switch to anyone on the bench, we're just going to win. So we're going to do this. So we'll quick ball, get rid of research here, grab Fion, and we should have a good bit of outs to this Banette here. So we'll do this as well. I don't think the cape particularly matters, but we're just going to go for the research. Okay, and we do get the Banette. So Banette going to pull its weight here against the VMAX deck. So we can knock this guy out. Then we have the Fion to force this Pika out of the way and knock out anything on their bench for game. There's boss. Not saucer. Hey, that's fine. And then we can just go for the Whirlpool Suction and just nuke whatever they have here. Okay, so we'll hit him with the well played. So the Banette actually pulling its weight here against the big peak deck. Okay, so we see the Darmanitan coin. This seems like it would be an easy dub for us if this is a Galarian Darmanitan deck. Like, not only do we have Banette, but we also just hit it for weakness as well. So we'll have to see. It's hard to say. We win the flip, so yeah, let's go first. Unfortunately, we are going to mulligan. Luckily, it doesn't really reveal too much about what we're playing. Okay, so sure, we'll just open with Zacian, that's fine. Okay, so this looks like this might be Eternatus, if that's the case. All right, I'm kind of cool with that if that is what it winds up being. So we're gonna do this. I think we're actually going to calm this Banette away and probably just Stellar Wish here. Like switch Stellar Wish and then just enter turn with Intrepid Sword here. Okay, so we'll just grab a Marnie preemptively for the next turn. We'll attach here and we will just go for the Intrepid Sword. So Banette, if this is Eternatus, actually could be good for a number of reasons. Like not only can we like smack Eternatus, de-evolve it, but even if we're not attacking into it, just de-evolving it can sometimes force them to discard their bench, which in and of itself can be good for us because with Cape we cap out at 270 HP, and that's what Eternatus caps that out to without Zigzagoons and stuff like that. So that actually could help us avoid a KO. All right, so we're just going to probably wait and Stellar Wish after. Or I mean, if there's a world, if we get Quick Ball, I kind of don't hate just playing down our hand here. Because we could actually just go boss, knock that out. So let's try that first. Unfortunately, we did whip what we wanted. So we're just going to grab the Tool Scrapper and Marnie here. Yeah, if we hit Fion, that would also work just fine as well. So we'll just go for the switch. And just Marnie, because we don't want to get rid of our Banettes. They're going to be pretty important for us. Okay, yeah, so we can actually just get the KO on this guy. Like, so we'll go for the Calm here, put our homie back, grab Fion. Yeah, like Eternatus seems like this should be a really good matchup for us. Like we have the Banette to de-evolve them, to take knockouts, so we have the Banette to de-evolve them to reduce their bench. We also have Hoopa, which can sometimes do a good bit of chip damage since they have a huge bench full of Pokemon with abilities. So, yeah, overall, we're looking pretty good over here. There's Dark City. Hey, that's actually good for us. We don't currently play a stadium in this list, so if we ever get our Crobat down, we'll always basically have a Pokemon we can switch into that has free retreat, which is really good for Zacian. Okay, so this looks like this might be the poison variant of Eternatus. So we'll definitely do this. I mean, I almost might be cool with just taking a turn off. I feel like there's no world where we ever want to attack into someone like this. Because we're never going to get a 3-prize knockout, so getting a single prize doesn't really matter for us. So I think we're going to Quick Ball, get rid of a Zacian. Just go for Crobat. We don't want a Dead change here. Okay, so unfortunately we are just going to have to retreat. Yeah, we'll just do this number over here. Just Other Wish. Do get Metal Saucer, that's good. And I think we'll actually save the Saucer. Because I don't want them to be able to evolve, do their shenanigans, then boss up someone. So I think we'll just go for the Intrepid Sword instead. And now all we have to do is attach Metal Saucer once to any of our Zacians, and we're going to be good to go. So definitely a little bit of a much less impactful, what, second turn for us? Or maybe it's our third? I forget already. Yeah, this should still be a decent match for us, especially if they fill up their bench and just knock out Jirachi. Yeah, so that looks like they're filling up their bench pretty well here. Okay, so just to pass it over to us. That's definitely good. So let's just go for the Stellar Wish to kick things off. How much energy we have? We only have 2, so no point in getting another Turbo Patch just yet. We could grab a Research for the moment. I actually might grab a Scoop Up Net, literally just to de-evolve them, force them to discard. Which doesn't seem awful to me. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sure for this thing. So we're gonna devolve this guy. So we're gonna Scoop Up Net, Banette here. We still don't have a way to get a KO, which is our other issue. So I might even just kind of chill with this hand yet again. So sure, let's just do this. Let's Turbo Patch. We'll just Metal Saucer over here. And I think from there, we're just going to Intrepid Sword. Yeah, we'll just attach her. I'm just kind of scared of a boss. That's the only reason I'm like, is that what we want to get down? So definitely playing a little bit of chicken in this game so far. There's the Eternatus. Now they do need, I believe, what, 2 more bench Pokemon and boss to knock us out? Oh, and they do have the boss. But it looks like they're going to go for Shuppet. Now, that's actually okay with me too. We can actually avoid the entire... like, we actually still win just by bossing these guys. If that's what we need to do. So let's just go for the Stellar Wish before we do anything else, probably. So yeah, we can just boss probably this guy and knock that out. And then from there we just have to boss again and that'll be game. I mean, there is also a world where we just attack here and next turn we still just do our whole normal strategy. I think that's, I mean, we can still just do that. So we'll get rid of Jirachi here. Ooh. We did prize a Shuppet, so yeah, we actually might have to do this. So we'll just grab Jirachi here, I suppose. I don't think we need Fion right this second. So I'll just go for the boss, bring up Galarian Slowbro. get down Jirachi yet again. Let's see, we have 2 scoop up nets left and 2 switches left. So just trying to keep track of our resources. And we'll just go for the Brave Blade. So our opponent really hasn't, they didn't do too much last turn, but I guess they boss, so that would maybe explain why they didn't do that much since they didn't play a draw supporter. But my point is, like, I'm thinking there might even be a world where we don't get knocked out. There is the Crobat here. They do need, what, 2 more bench Pokemon? There's 1. There's Great Ball, there's Toxicroak. Okay, that would also get them there as well. Actually surprised they did not promote the Slowbro, because don't they need 10 more damage? Okay, but they have the Quick Ball, so either way it works out. Not for us, but for them, of course. So there's going to be Eternatus. Question is, from there, can we do what we need to do to win this one? So we'll promote our little homie Jirachi over here. Oh man, it's gonna feel so bad if we actually have to like get rid of this hand. So we'll Stellar Wish. Okay, and we have the boss, so we should be good because from here we can Dede change as well. So we'll grab Banette, grab Dedenne. Switch into this Jirachi first, because we might be able to find Saucer just right out the gate here. Okay, we find Turbo Patch, that is fine. Can we hit it? Okay, we don't. Let's see. So we'll scoop up net this guy. We'll go for Crobat, because Crobat's for retreat thanks to Dark City, so we'll retreat back into this guy. Stellar Wish again. Okay, we get a research. We're just going to grab it to thin the deck here. Oh wait, we do need... We actually would prefer to be on the bench here, in case we need to find Saucer. Ooh, that actually might have been a little bit of a misplay. Either way, we're gonna bring this guy up, switch it into Zacian. Let's see, so how much energy do we have in here? 3. Yeah, so there's a good chance we can just find an attachment here and be okay. Okay, and we did get there luckily, so we'll just attach the coating metal, go for the Brave Blade on Slowbro, and that will be the game. So yeah, managed to take down Eternatus without even having to attack into one as well. So even without Banette, well actually the Banette still kind of came in handy because we did have a turn where we could de-evolve their bench and got rid of some extra Pokemon. So yeah, seems to do okay against these VMAX decks. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up our look here at the Zacian V Banette deck. And as you guys saw, I mean, this thing smacks the ever-living snot out of the different VMAX decks that are running out here with Banette's ability to de-evolve them. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's just a Zacian deck, so just by default, it's going to be pretty good just to start with. But hope you enjoyed this one today. Again, shout out to the Slowpoke Well for the initial idea for this deck idea. It's been a lot of fun experimenting with this thing. And I will say this deck list as well was actually posted early on our Patreon. So if you guys want to learn about how to get some early access content and support this channel in the process, I'll have a link down below in the description to that as well. But that's going to wrap up things today, guys. If you can, smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you can, consider supporting the channel by becoming a patron or by picking up some merch at our online store, rarecandytcg.com. It would mean a lot. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.